Before showing you how I built a $10,000 per month design agency, first you should know that I've already started, scaled, and sold my own multi-million dollar advertising agency, which I started as this young, broke teenager with no money. So, what I'm about to share with you comes from a tremendous amount of experience. Now let's walk through the 5 core stages that takes my web design agency from 0 to $10,000 per month. It all starts here with positioning. If I'm starting a web design agency from 0, the very first thing that I need to get clear on is what service am I offering and who am I offering it to? Those two things, service and market, make up what we call service market fit. Everything else in the business flows downstream from here. So here's what bad positioning looks like. I'm a web designer for anyone who needs a website. That is awful. To beginners who have no idea what they're doing, starting their agency or starting their business, this feels very safe because it leaves all options for any client to come and work with them. But when you try to speak to everyone, your message resonates with no one. So instead, you want to be very specific. Now, for me, I design conversion-focused websites for crypto startups and Web3 projects. That's better, but let's make it even better. How about I design conversion-focused websites for crypto startups and Web3 projects that need clarity, credibility, and trust? Now we're talking about a specific problem and a specific outcome in this statement that defines what my agency does. Much more clear than I help anybody on planet Earth design their website. So let's go deeper. What problem am I actually solving? Well, Web3 projects often struggle with 3 things: unclear messaging, low trust, and low credibility. So people land on their site and they don't really understand what they're looking at, and this creates a sense of lost trust, which devalues the Web3 project and creates lost opportunities for the business, because when people land on the site, they don't understand what the Web3 project is actually doing. That creates a lot of pain for the founders and the team behind the project, which is why they hire someone like me. Okay, now what is the actual outcome that my web design agency provides? Well, 3 things: clarity, credibility, and trust. Very simple. This leads to higher conversions. Now, that is the value that the web design agency provides. Web design is just the vehicle for delivering higher conversions, credibility, trust. Now, this is my service market fit hypothesis. It's not permanent, it's not perfect, but it's a version 1 hypothesis that is good enough of a foundation for me to start my agency, which brings us to stage 2, pricing. Now, in agency-based businesses, pricing can feel very complicated because in a service-based business, you are selling your time. And measuring what your time is worth is kind of a tricky thing. You know, for some simple contrast, if you're in a product-based business and you create a moisturizer and you want to just sell that, okay, cool. You calculate the cost of the bottle. How much does the label cost? What's the shipping for the bottle? What's the cream cost? You add it all up and you get your cost of goods sold. And then you mark up the price of the product based on your cost of goods sold. And voila, you determine your pricing. It's very objective, very straightforward. Naturally, as somebody running an agency, the ultimate paradox that an early stage founder runs into is, how do I measure what my time is worth to price my services properly? That's the paradox. So this is where most people feel a tremendous amount of imposter syndrome. So they either underprice because they don't feel ready, or they overprice before their delivery and experience levels actually support the price that they're charging. And in both cases, the result is the same: poor outcomes, unhappy clients, and a damaged reputation. So hear me when I am telling you this. It's so important. Poor pricing will either make or break the growth of your agency at any level: 0, 10, 100,000 a month, a million a month. It doesn't matter. Pricing, you need to have a good system for it. For that reason, I created an incredible pricing calculator. And if you use it, you'll have a very strong framework, making sure that your pricing is optimal based on your skill level, which will minimize your imposter syndrome and maximize your agency's growth. Now, this is great if you're at 0. It's great if you're at 10,000 a month. It's great if you're at 50,000 a month. You can get access to it. There's a link in the resource section or the description below this video. It would be like 20 or 30 minutes if I broke this down all into one video. So I just thought, well, I'm just going to give the whole worksheet. Whoever wants it. It's there. Now, a simple pricing example for my design agency. The project, let's say you come to me, you want a website. Okay, standard website's $3,000, 50% upfront, 50% upon completion. Timeline, I'll give you 30 days. I'm going to complete it in 30 days. Includes 3 revisions, blah, 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 English. And there's $100 per hour of ongoing support. So if I finish the project and you want a little bit of tweaks here and there, cool. My rate for you is $100 per hour, yada, yada. Pretty standard. This is easy to understand. It's professional by classic creative-based agency industry standards. And this leads us into the next stage, which is marketing. So we've defined positioning, we've defined pricing, and now we need to define how do we actually get some clients and scale to $10,000 a month? Well, marketing, aka distribution, which is a fancier word, is how you show up in the market and get people to pay attention to your offering. So from a high level, there's really only 2 ways that you can utilize marketing. Number 1 is outbound marketing. This is where you're sort of pushing, and that's where you're actively reaching out, cold emails, DMs, knocking on doors, cold calling. I don't necessarily love outbound. I've done it. It's helped my agency grow over the years. But the second option is inbound. This is where you're like magnetizing and pulling in your ideal clients. And this is where you create and publish content. And if you do a good job creating high signal content for a specific ideal client profile, ICP, the algorithms, no matter what platform, will then show your content to your ICP. And both strategies are effective and work. In my opinion, inbound is winning in the overall collective consciousness of the world, if you want to say. But it's up to you. You get to pick. Now, in this case, for my design agency, as I was kind of sharing with you earlier, I would choose to just do inbound to start. Maybe a little bit of outbound is fine. 10, 15% of my energy could go into outbound, but predominantly I'm focusing on inbound. Personal preference, it's up to you, but that's what I like. And I personally think that has greater compounding effects long-term. Personal preference. So before choosing a platform or creating content, what do I need to do in order to have an effective content marketing strategy, inbound marketing strategy? The first thing I need to do is what is called scanning the Safari. Okay, this is where you're looking across all the major platforms where your ideal client profile could be, and you're finding the content that already clearly resonates with them. So you're going to YouTube, you're searching web design for crypto, Web3 projects, whatever, and you're going to X, you're searching the same thing. You're looking for designers that are already publishing content, that is already getting traction, that is already magnetizing ideal client profiles that you want, but just for one of your competitors. Okay. What you're looking for when you're scanning the Safari: creators or agencies getting strong engagement, content that clearly is positioned for your ICP, topics and angles that consistently pull strong levels of attention or engagement, and frameworks that are winning across multiple industries. So you don't need to just look at the web design industry. You can look at other industries and get winning frameworks or content ideas from those industries. Now, as you are scanning the Safari, you want to be asking yourself this: what problems are being talked about when you're looking at the content? What language keeps repeating? And what angles are resonating most? Okay, so this process, it gives you clarity on what messaging your ICP actually resonates with. Now, once I have scanned the Safari, let's say I identify YouTube as the platform where I'm seeing the most web designers in the crypto Web3 space posting content and getting the most engagement. Okay, cool. My observations of the top performing content on that platform is the data that I need to strategically orient myself when I come into the market and I start creating content for my ICP, right? This is sort of the initial wisdom that I need to get to make sure that I come in and I immediately get traction within 30, 60 days, because you don't have to wait 5 years to get your first client. That's absurd. Okay, so then I pick one channel and I commit to it, right? We don't want to deploy a marketing strategy across 22 channels. It's so ridiculous. Just pick one channel, commit to it, go all in on it. This is where so many people fail. They just overwhelmed, they pick multiple channels, yada, yada. That brings us to sales. Stage 4, I believe, is what we're on. I use a simple 2-step sales process. Let's go through it. Now, number 1, it's called a connection call, or some people call it a discovery call. This is where we have a conversation between me and the prospect who's interested in my web design service. I listen to what they need because they're reaching out to me. They need help. I understand what the client actually needs because I'm listening and I'm asking good questions. And there's no pitching and no pricing on this call. It's just a process of me understanding what they actually need. And then if it feels aligned by the end of the call, I'll tell them that I'm going to make a proposal and I'm going to get it to you in 24 to 48 hours. Simple. Now, after that call, 24 to 48 hours, I'm preparing for what is called a proposal call, or you could call it a sales call. And then we get on the second call where I'm going to propose to them based on the audit that I did of their situation, based on the data that they gave me from that first call. And this is where I'm going to outline the solution of how we can fix the problems that they're facing. I'm going to confirm the scope of everything that we'll be doing. I'm going to confirm the timeline. How long is it actually going to take us to deliver this project? I'm going to present the price. Let's just say it's $3,000. And at the end, the client says yes or no. No sales NLP tactics, just basic, good, old-fashioned communication, ladies and gents. Nothing fancy here. No wild sales script, just straightforward communication. I absolutely love it. That brings us to stage 5 of my design agency, which is all about scale. Okay, so as I've seen my own agency grow from 0 to life-changing numbers over the course of nearly 10 years, I've learned that scaling isn't about doing more things. It's about compounding what already works. Let me elaborate. This is so legendary. I'm very excited to share what I'm about to share with you. It's so helpful. I wish someone told me about this years ago. Here is how client delivery compounds. Let's say you sign your first client. Okay, cool. Then you figure things out. It's manual, it's time consuming because it's your first time doing it, etc. You sign your second client. Now you are reusing decisions from your first client, so it's more efficient. And then you sign your third client. And guess what? Delivery, it goes even faster because this is your third time doing it. Every time you do something, you get more efficient, you get better at it. By the time you have your 10th client, you're not really inventing too much that's new. You probably have pretty defined processes that are really effective. Each client reduces friction for the next one, and that is compounding. Okay, now here's how proof compounds. You get your first testimonial from your first happy client. Now you have social proof that exists. Very powerful. You get your second testimonial. Credibility increases a significant amount. You get your third testimonial, and objections in the sales process will drop significantly if you can go to somebody and say, hey, here's 3 testimonials from people just like you. By the time you get your 10th testimonial, trust is pretty much just assumed because people see that there's 10 other people just like them. Now, you don't sell harder. The work sort of begins to sell for you because you have so much proof. That is compounding, right? Now, here's how content marketing compounds. When you talk about the same problem for the same ideal client profile, guess what happens? Your language sharpens over time. Your examples get better. The audience begins to self-select. And old content that you've posted keeps working while you publish new content. So each piece of content doesn't just reset the content game, it sort of adds to the pile and increases your overall degree of magnetism. That is compounding. Now, last one, let's talk about how referrals compound. So when you repeatedly help the same type of ideal client profile, ICP, they refer the same type of people to you, and your name becomes associated with a specific outcome. And because of that, you stop just being, oh, a designer, oh, he's just a web designer. You become the best person for design in a specific industry for this specific type of crypto project or Web3 project or whatever it is. That's what you begin to become known for. And that's so powerful because people in the Web3 space, they don't just want a designer. They want a designer that really deeply, profoundly understands the blockchain or whatever it is that their project does, etc. So referrals, they stop being random and they start to become expected. And that is compounding. So here's the most important thing you can try to take away from all of this as I try to summarize it for you. If you keep changing the ICP, the offer, the messaging, the platform, the strategy, guess what? Nothing compounds. Very simple. And if you focus on the same ICP, the same offer, the same channel, guess what? Everything compounds over time. This is the power of focus. Now, a great recent example of referral compounding effect is Niels. He joined Agency Birth, I think it was like 7 months ago. He scaled to $10,000 per month in less than 6 months. He signed his first 3 to 4 clients using paid ads. And then over the course of the next 4 to 5 months, because he delivered a good service for his first initial few clients, he got like 20 to 25 referred clients that he worked with, which got him to $10,000 per month in his agency. There's a whole interview on his story on the Agency Birth channel. It's pretty cool. It's only like an hour. You can check it out if that's interesting to you. But every agency, not just web design agencies, has to go through these 5 stages that we've gone through in this video. And that is the path, which is exactly why I created the Agency Birth channel here on YouTube for you to learn how to start, scale, and sell your own agency. This is the journey that I've been on. And our mission is to really help humanity become financially free. It says a path to financial freedom because I don't know how to sell physical products. I don't know how to open a gym. I just know how to run a digital agency, and that business model I'm really good at. So this is the path that I'm presenting for humanity, for whoever feels resonant with it. Now, if you want to join a private community of people that are devoted to growing their agency, we currently have, I think, almost 20 members in the Agency Birth community from all over the world, and everybody there is there to grow their agencies. So it's a powerful sort of group where you can tap into lots of different people at lots of different stages. I'm also in that group. I provide weekly coaching calls for everybody in that group. If you're interested, there's a link in the description. And just so you know, every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern, we're trying to publish an episode here on this channel. So if you subscribe, we are so grateful because it supports the channel. It supports the ripple effect. We're 100% organic right now. We have no paid ads on this channel yet. We intend to do that, but we want to be very careful about scaling our audience and making sure that we're maintaining high resonance. So do we have anything else? Oh yeah, the pricing calculator will be located in the description below. If you want that, check it out. It's really powerful. And I almost forgot to tell you, look at this. Thank God we have slides and I spent hours preparing this. Every video I release on this channel will have one hidden angel. They're very difficult to find. Do not waste your life looking for them. It's better you just join Agency Birth because if you do find it, great. You get a free month in Agency Birth. Beautiful gift. 2 people have actually found 2 angels. I was very shocked. They're very hard to find. And if you see it, all you do is you just pause the video, check the timestamp, and comment on this YouTube video the exact minute and second of when you saw the angel visible, and I'll verify it and reach out to you in the DMs through Instagram or something. So let's see. That's all we got, ladies and gents. I love you deep. Thank you for being part of this, and thank you for supporting this channel. let's walk through the 5 core stages that what? Let's redo that one more time. One more time. I'm going to get it this time. Restart. Financially free. And this is the best path forward. Wow, I'm really, my my words are slurring.